Notice that the roof was about to collapse, but the shower held up the panel and it's filled up. It's made a bridge of cobwebs. The curtain it had is probably stuck there by now. There are cobwebs everywhere. Well, maybe I already mentioned this in the voiceover, but just in case, I'll say it here too. As always, in every house I go to, when I enter abandoned houses, I always go in with a lot of respect, asking for permission, even though I'm agnostic. I mean, I don't believe, but I don't not believe either. So you always have to come to these places with a lot of respect, and even more so now, knowing that this place was abandoned. Did you hear that? When I said, wow, man. Okay. Before continuing with the video, I'd like to clarify a couple of things. The first thing is, as I mentioned in the video, this house belonged to a musician, as you probably saw in the title, a saxophonist, specifically, who lived his entire life in complete solitude. From what we've been able to find out, he didn't even have a partner, he had no children, so this place can truly be considered completely abandoned due to a lack of heirs. Okay, the second thing I wanted to tell you, which is very important, is that what you've just seen, what just happened, and what you're about to see next was absolutely not planned at all. It happened exactly as you saw it. We have no need to deceive the audience or do any paranormal nonsense to hook more people into this, because as those of you who have followed me for a while already know, I never really believed much in these things. Honestly, as many of you have told me, as I've had more experiences, something in me has started to change, and I do think there is something, an energy that lingers in these places. Specifically, in this place, the energy was very, very strong. I don't want to sound crazy, but you could feel it. You really could feel it. And you're gonna see it in a dramatic way at the moment when something happens to me with the flashlight. It was fully charged, and suddenly the battery just drained. That typical thing you see on mystery shows or in movies, which had never happened to me before, happened to me. And when it happened, you'll see that my first reaction was to run over to Jesus and tell him that my flashlight had suddenly died and all that, and he, always so calm, just stood there without giving me an explanation at first, and it's because he was a bit in shock. Then, once we're off camera, you know we're always trying to find explanations for all the weird things that happen to us, and, well, thinking about it, we thought that maybe the humidity inside the house caused the flashlight, or the battery, to suddenly stop working. Then, something even stranger happened when I went to edit. I opened Premiere, and the mouse went crazy. It was moving on its own, and I wasn't even touching it. I was stunned, because nothing like that had ever happened before. I think I recorded a video to send to Jesus. I'll show you if I still have it. Yeah, here it is. After that, what Jesus did was install an antivirus, just in case it was a virus. I think there's a solution for everything, but it's true that when a lot of coincidences start piling up, and all of them focus on a single case, like what happened in this house, every time I talked about the person, doors would slam, then the camera lost focus, and then when I went to edit, this happened to me. It's really strange, honestly. If it's true that there's something after death, that there's something in the afterlife, it's amazing that it tried to communicate with me, one way or another. I don't know, honestly, right now. I probably sound crazy, but that's what happened. I'm very sure of what I did. If you want to think that everything was staged, you're entitled to your opinion. There are millions of things on YouTube right now that are all fake, so I would totally understand. Those of you who have known me for a while already know that I've never been after shock value or the drama of doing paranormal stuff in places. I have no need for that, as I said before. So anyway, let's keep going with the video. Jesus is outside taking pictures, and there was a sound. A door just slammed right now when I mentioned the man. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. I repeat, I'm here with a lot of respect, just in case, because only one man ever lived here. I swear, I've got goosebumps right now because it happened exactly when I said that phrase. Well, only one man lived here, and he didn't make it to 60 years old, and before his death, he actually died in an accident. How do we know this? Because there's a neighbor nearby. There was a house, and we kind of got caught, so to speak. To say it, he asked us where we were going, and Jesus was carrying the camera. I'm honestly so nervous, I swear. So the man told us it was fine, that there was no problem, that this house has been abandoned. It's been abandoned for about 10 years. And he said that the man who lived here passed away. He didn't know him, he wasn't living here when it happened, but people told him about it. He had no descendants, he never had a wife, he was a very solitary man, a hermit, and I'm getting chills. And well, so right now, this house doesn't belong to anyone. I mean, once he passed away in an accident, I think I understood it was a motorcycle accident. So I thought it was really interesting to show you this house, which maybe isn't one of the most amazing ones I filmed for my channel, not at all, but the story behind this place, because there are other places I filmed that don't have a story, but this one has a lot of history, and I think it's pretty interesting to show the house just as it was left. Right before the man sadly passed away in a motorcycle accident or a road accident. It really makes you think about what happens to a house when all of a sudden, from one day to the next, you leave this life. And you can see that the closet is full of medications, mostly bandages for wounds, because when someone gets older, they start to have more injuries on their body. And, well, he had everything filled with bandages, alcohol. Let's check the date to see if we can get an idea. This bottle of alcohol expires in 2011. I don't know how long wound alcohol takes to expire, but this one specifically expires in 2011. And actually, I don't think the color is normal because it's yellow. But look, these are the last medications he used, and, well, wow, it's never used again? Once he passed away? The fungus? The perfume he used? Look, it gives me goosebumps thinking about when the last time was that he dried himself with that towel. And I don't know, there's a pair of pants. If you look, the pants, look at what I'm telling you, they're completely covered in cobwebs. In fact, right now I'm eating quite a few of them. The bathroom is really tiny, but if you look, there was a seat there, probably because, well, maybe he was getting older and I don't know if they were 60 or 70. Whoa, whoa, the light just went out on me. Whoa, 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 it was on full blast, babe. Babe, the light just turned off all of a sudden. The battery died on me out of nowhere, and it was fully charged. Seriously, a bunch of things have happened to me in the bathroom. It's just wild. I experienced it all at once. I was like, here, yeah. Just as I was talking about him, it died. Look, I mean, not even the battery indicator will turn on. It doesn't work. It just died on me, and it was fully, I mean, you could tell we had a ton of light. Now we're using Jesus' light. Things just keep making noises around here. But anyway, let me turn off the camera. I've already put it in. It's this one, see? It's fully charged. The other battery I had, which is smaller, but I think it'll last for the video. The bathroom was here and the door slammed shut on us. But we assume it was because of the wind. That's where I went. Here's the bathroom, see? I actually ran out of there because I got so incredibly scared because it was, well, the battery was fully charged and now it's completely drained. And, well, you can hear how the wind picks up out there. It's really quite strong. Look, the wall used to be pure white, and from all the humidity that's built up around here, all the text and everything, well, it's just changed so much, you know? Oh, right, look, it actually had a thermostat. It wasn't white, it was made of fabric, okay? But it was supposed to be this color, and because of the humidity, it's ended up like this, with this color. I have to carry the light in my hand because it broke. The light fell suddenly when I was setting it up. Things are happening to me in this abandoned place that have never happened anywhere else. The light just fell to the ground and the little screw broke, so now I have to carry it by hand. Oh well. Do you see how damp the floor is? He had a little dog. We can Well, I wonder what happened to that little dog now that I think about it. Because we already know that a man lived here and that he had a dog, since earlier I also saw a little crib. Look, the bed, look at its condition. And that box, I think it was for carrying a camera? Could it be? I don't know. Well, what is clear is that it's been a long time since... It seems that quite a few people have already come in here to look around. Likely to steal, I suppose. Or just to see if anything at all was left behind. Wow, I really don't know. What exactly is this? Maybe a sundial? Here is his little glass of water for the long nights, I guess. And over here, we have the old sewing basket and a dusty book. But look at how it's ended up. Then here, he had a thermometer to check the temperature in the room, I guess. You have to keep in mind at all times that a man lived here alone until he died. Okay, here we need to be very careful, as always, taking every precaution. Let's go in. There's the bedroom, and here are the closets. Look, they're all full of belts. The number of belts he had to match with, and ties. And here are the clothes. As you can see, it's all men's clothing. It's only men's clothing. Everything, everywhere. Like I said, only a man lived here. Look at the drawers, huh? There's water. Everything is soaked. And all of this is slides. An immense amount of slides. There could easily be more than 500 different slides here, and all these drawers are bursting with documents. And well, we've been able to figure out some things. Wow, look at the ceiling, the way it is. And here he had the coat hanging that he would wear out on the street. Wow, he really loved music. Just look, even the t-shirts, huh? All Mozart. Did you see that? You'll see he was crazy about Mozart in every way. Me, Giovanni, Don Giovanni, Mozart. Look at all the cobwebs around here. Check it out. Yasin Marciak. Here we might have, right now, the band he played in. Over here was the main entrance. We actually came in through the garage. And as you can see, everything's been a bit ransacked. He used to keep all his shoes here, neatly stored, but people have already come to steal them. It's a real shame, honestly. Look, there's a nest there of... Whoa! But there were 2 bugs there that had made their cocoons and have already come out. Do you see? The shells of the little bugs are left there. Okay, and here we have the kitchen. The cap is hanging out to dry. He put a pair of pants here on a hanger so they wouldn't get wrinkled. Honestly, I promise you, I don't know. This house is just as it is. I mean, I don't know. Not exactly as it was, because people have come to wreck it, but there are things that, were left just like this before the man passed away. I'm not really sure what this is. Oh, wow! It's a xylophone. That's cool. Look at the eggs! Wow, if the eggs are still there, that's wild. They expire in, let's see, we'll have the most exact date from the eggs for sure. June 2012. So I think this place has been abandoned since 2012. Look at what 7 years of abandonment does. I mean, it looks like it's been much longer, but it's the humidity. Humidity destroys places like 3 times faster. I mean, way more. Faster than a place that's not humid. For example, in the north of Spain, this happens a lot too. Even if a place hasn't been abandoned for that long, it already looks like it's been empty for maybe 15 years. But that's because the humidity eats away at the wood and destroys it. Just look at the state of this cabinet. The house itself is very humble, it's super small, and he probably lived here very comfortably because he had everything he needed and nothing more. You've seen the kitchen and it's actually pretty good for just one person. He had a dryer, which is now full of spiders. The laundry detergent has burst open because of the humidity that's gotten in here. look at the state of the bag. It's completely burst. And the other one too. Look, just look at this. Oh my gosh. The dishes are placed here, freshly washed, you know? Wow, honestly, for me, this is really intense. It's shocking, isn't it? Well, for him, it was just a normal day. So here are his dishes, he washed them. Guys, seriously, you never know when your last day is gonna be. That's what I always say. You have to really enjoy life and do what you truly love. Because look, from one day to the next, you could leave this life, and you never know when. No one ever really knows when. So enjoy life as much as you can. That's all I can tell you. Ugh, look at this sink. It really gets to me. I'm just really sensitive in these kinds of places. Knowing that there was a person here, alone, and it ended like that.